I worked as a night security guard at a parking lot next to a shopping center. It wasn't a dangerous job, mostly boring. Cameras, a small booth, a barrier, and a logbook I had to fill out every hour. At night, the place was almost empty. Sometimes a late customer, sometimes a delivery truck. Most nights passed quietly. I remember that shift clearly because nothing felt wrong at first. It was a 1:18 a.m. when one of the cameras picked up movement. I was sitting in the booth drinking cold coffee, half watching the monitors. The motion alert wasn't sharp or sudden. It triggered slowly, like something had entered the frame and then stopped. I zoomed in. A man was standing between two parked cars. He was tall, dressed in dark clothes. No bag, no phone in his hands, no car lights flashing. He wasn't walking toward anything. He wasn't leaving. He just stood there, slightly leaning forward, his head tilted as if he was listening. That was the first thing that bothered me. People don't stand like that on parking lots at night. They move with purpose. They unlock cars. They hurry. This man did none of that. I checked the time again. 1:18. I switched to the camera covering the next row. Nothing. Another camera. Still nothing. When I returned to the original feed, the man was closer. Not walking closer. Just closer. There was no footage of him moving between rows. One moment he was there, the next moment he was nearer. I told myself it was lag. Old cameras glitch all the time. I picked up the radio and spoke calmly, the way we're trained to. "Sir, the parking lot is closing. Please leave the area." No reaction. After a few seconds, I grabbed my flashlight and stepped outside the booth. The night felt wrong immediately. Too quiet. Even the distant traffic noise seemed muted. I shined the light between the cars. No one. But on the asphalt, faint marks were visible. Not clear footprints. More like pressure marks. They led between the cars and stopped abruptly in the middle of the row, as if whoever made them simply ceased to exist. My chest tightened. I went back inside and locked the booth door. I convinced myself I was tired. Long night shifts mess with your perception. Low light, repeating images, exhaustion. At 01:18, the motion alert went off again. Same camera. Same man. This time, he was standing directly in front of the booth. So close that the camera couldn't capture his full body. Only his back and shoulders. He stood perfectly still, facing the glass. I noticed something immediately. The light inside the booth was on. The glass should have reflected his silhouette. It didn't. There was no reflection of him at all. Only mine. I didn't move. I barely breathed. My hand hovered over the radio, but I didn't press it. I had the overwhelming feeling that if I made a sound, he would react. Slowly, very slowly, the man turned his head toward the camera. The system tried to focus. It couldn't. His face stayed blurred like corrupted footage. Not darkness, just unreadable. As if the camera refused to process what it was seeing. Then the monitors went black. Not all at once. One by one. As if something was shutting them down deliberately. The lights in the booth flickered. When the system rebooted, the cameras came back on. The parking lot was empty. I checked the recordings. There was nothing. No man. No alerts. No missing time. According to the system, the night had been completely normal. I didn't leave the booth until morning. When my shift ended, my supervisor said the cameras had been acting weird lately. He laughed and told me not to overthink it. Before leaving, I opened the logbook. One entry was already there, under the 01:18 timestamp, written in my handwriting. Went out, situation handled, won't happen again. I stared at it for a long time. I never went out. I quit that job the same day. A week later, I ran into the guard who replaced me. We talked about nothing important. Weather, work, small things. Before we parted, he hesitated, then asked quietly, "Did you ever see him too?" I didn't ask who he meant. I just nodded.